G'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to episode 5 of our shipbuilding tutorial. Okay, so in today's episode what I wanted to do was kind of finish off doing the interior. Now I didn't really want to get to the point where I'm going to decorate the interior fully, but what I want to do is I want to finish off this cockpit, I want to finish off all the other areas of the interior, and I just want to get the entire ship airtight. And then from there, I think if you guys are interested, then what I can do is I can do another separate episode where I actually dress up the ship and make it look pretty. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, then let me know down in the comments, and then yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, well, let's not waste any time and let's go ahead and get started. So I think what I'll do is I'll start at the very front of the ship where we left off last time, and we'll just go through a couple of things. So obviously you can see our air vents here, right? So with the air vents, as you can see, they have a yellow light, but if we go and seal up all these doors, then they will turn green, or at least they will if we seal up all the doors. So we'll just quickly go and seal these ones up. Okay, now let's go back downstairs and have a look at this air vent, and now you can see it's green. So the reason why it's green but it's not actually outputting any air is because there's no oxygen tanks hooked up to this. So what we need to do is we need to connect up the conveyors in the ship to make that happen, but at least we know that this space is airtight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same throughout the ship, and we're just going to make sure that everything is actually airtight and we can get some air in this thing. Alright, so I'm going to go up here into the middle, and I'm actually going to connect up these here. So let's just go ahead and do this. There's a couple of different ways I can do this. I can connect, well, this cargo container is connected to this conveyor here, which if I put a conveyor there, then it will connect it up. Or I can run a pipe from this conveyor to there. So if we go select our pipe, let's just select the right block first of all. So yeah, we can put a pipe from there to there, or we can just put a pipe from there to there, and both will achieve the same result. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a pipe here for now. And then if we go into this space, we can see that we now have oxygen. Alright, so let's head on into the middle section of the ship, or the cargo section, and let's see if we can't get this airtight. So as you can see, I've put in some air vents here. So the first thing I need to do is just make sure that all these doors are actually closed. So let's go back out into this area. Let's go back down the bottom, and we will make sure that this section is closed, because there are actually 3 sets of doors that expose that section. So if we have a look here, let's bring up, yep, so as you can see, we're airtight. Alright, cool. So that means that this middle section of the ship is airtight, so we are good to go. So, but if we open this door and then open that door, then you can see all the air escapes. So that means that this section here needs to be sealed as well. So let's see where the leak is. So I'm just going to go up here. It's a bit strange, I'm like morphing through the floor there. So I'm pretty sure what the issue is here is that these doors aren't closed, and this is the reason why we're leaking air. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly chuck an air vent here, and we'll see if this section here is airtight, and no, it isn't. So we need to find where the hole is in this portion of the ship. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if we can't squeeze through here. Ah yes, these doors here are open. Let's close these. And now we should start getting some oxygen through. Yep, and there we go. So the engineering section of the ship is airtight. The jump drive section of the ship is airtight. The section up there is airtight. All this in here is airtight. So now the only thing we need to make sure is airtight is up here in the bridge. So we'll head up these stairs. And let's go up here. And now obviously if we close this door, then this vent should activate. So now we know at least this section is airtight as well. So now what we need to do is make sure that the bridge is airtight. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some windows in here. So let's go ahead and get some windows. Alright, so we want the tinted side to be on the outside, like that. Just going to put a window there like that. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that window. And we're going to put in a corner window. Like that. I'll put in another corner window like that. And then right here, I will place another window like that. And then grab another corner window, but this time we'll grab an inverted window. So yeah, I think that's the window that we want. Let's just check that. Yeah, cool. And that's going to be the start of our bridge. As you can see, I've recessed it in by like one block so that we have a little bit of protection. Not a whole heap, but at least we have a little bit. And I'm probably going to move this cockpit maybe one block back, just because I don't think it looks right being where it is. So let's do that. Awesome. I think that looks pretty good. Alright, so let's go ahead and fill in the rest of the interior with windows. So make sure that the tinted side is facing outwards. And here, what am I going to do here? So I could put another window like that. So let's put a window here like this. Let's put a window like that. And then what we can do is we can put another window here as well. And then we put the window there like that. Now, are we airtight? No, we are not. Probably because we have a big gaping hole here. So let's just temporarily place a block here and see if this area seals up. And no, it doesn't. So I think what our issue here is this window here. So I think what I might do is replace this here with blocks. So we could go like this. that. That, and these air vents should start filling up that cockpit. Yeah, it does. Alright, so that's airtight. I'm not really loving that look. Nevertheless, it still works. So, now at least we have an airtight ship. Let's put in some doors. Put one door there, another door there. Let's delete that block. Let's put in another block the same but on the other side, like that. So I think that looks a little bit better. Awesome. And now we have an airtight bridge. I could just replace this with regular square blocks, and I might just do that actually. So let's just go put in some square blocks like that, and let's put in a corner block like this. Cool. Alright, so I think from the inside that looks pretty good. I'm not loving this straight and then this curved window here, but it's functional, so I think we'll just leave it at that. And in fact, I could even move this door one further forward. And I'm not sure about the location of these air vents either. I might actually move them over here. So let's just see what that looks like. Let's put in our conveyors again. Let's put in our air vents. Delete that block. Delete that block. And then we'll put in some inverted corners. One there. And then, isn't that interesting? That's actually airtight. That is bizarre. So I think, you know, because this space is being used for this airlock as well as being used, you know, for that, then I think what we can do is we can go ahead and we can delete this, delete that, delete that, delete that. Put in some blocks like this. Actually, no, we need to delete these conveyors. Block, block, that one. Cool. Now I think that will give us a little bit more room to put some control seats, because I want to put, you know, not heaps, but I want to put a few in. So what I usually like to do is put in the ones with the screens. In fact, I may put in some seats next to this one. And what I usually like to do is put in some flight seats. So we could put them there like that. How does that look? It doesn't look too bad. Or we could move them one block over and space them one block back like that. I think that looks better. The only problem is you can't really see too much out the window. Let's exit that cockpit. I think I'm just going to run with that for now. So let's put in some more control seats. Put one there. And we'll put another one there. So all up we have, what? 7 seats. So I think that should be enough for a relatively decent sized crew. Okay, so now what we have is we have a fully airtight ship. And now what I think we can do is go ahead and start putting in some lights. So, for the bridge, I'm going to put in, so let's chuck some lights on the roof, obviously. There's a couple of ways we can do this. We can put in some corner lights up here like this. In between the spaces for these seats. Put another one there on that side. And another one there like that. Okay, let's turn off our interior lights. Now, let's go into the control panel and we'll look for our corner lights. Okay, so before we start modifying these lights, I should point out a few things. So, first of all, the width of a block is 2.5 meters, as I've mentioned before in some other videos. So, when we set the radius for these, we obviously want it to go here. So, as you can see, it's going to be 1 block and 2 blocks. So about 2.5 blocks. So we need to set this to about 7.5 meters. So, no, 6.25 meters. So, let's go ahead and do that. So, we'll go in, select all of our corner lights. And I'm going to make these 0 red, 130 green. And then we're going to make these 6.25. We are going to set the fall off to 2.0. I'm going to set the intensity to 1.2. Cool. I think that looks pretty good. But I do think that we're going to need some lights in the center here. And in fact, I might actually put in a corner light. We might put in some double corner lights. Where's our lights? Here we go, here's our lights. So I will put one right behind the seat. Let's actually select the correct corner double light. Place one there. And we'll go, so we'll keep the same 1 block spacing. So then we'll put a light there. And perhaps another one there. Now let's go back into our control seat. Let's find these double corner lights. Let's make these the same color. Make them the same dimensions. Now, these particular lights, they don't actually need to have the same radius as what the other ones do. One of the things you need to consider when you're setting up lights is that they have a tendency to travel through blocks and solid walls. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to set these to about, first we'll try 3.25 meters. So we'll see how we go with that. We'll set the fall off to 2.0 again and the intensity to about 1.2. Awesome. So now we have lights in our bridge. And I think I may even put some around this exit as well. But so far I think that looks pretty good. Alright, so let's head downstairs and let us just see how that looks under here. So we have no light bleeding through from the top, so that's pretty good. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. I didn't want these blue lights to kind of penetrate this floor and then come into this lower area here. Now the CIC, I may make the lights the same color, and you can see I've deliberately left the block here and here free so that we can put some lights on the roof. So I think what I'm going to do is make these lights red. So let's select our lights again. We'll go double corner light again, I think. I'm going to turn off mirror mode because it's making it very difficult to place these lights, especially when they're in the center. Okay. And actually, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename these the bridge lights. So let's call this bridge light 1. I'm going to copy everything except the number, and I'm going to just paste it in. In fact, what I'm going to do is go like that, like that, like that, that, and then we'll change this one to number 10. Cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. And I will maintain the name of these as double lights. So I'm going to call these bridge double light 1, 2, and 3. So we'll call this bridge double light 1. Again, I'll copy all of this, change this to 2, change that to 3. So now we know that all these lights are our bridge lights. And we'll go ahead and select all these and we will make them into a group. Bridge roof lights. And we'll save that as a group. Now, so now what we have is we have our CIC double light. So I'm going to paste that again. Call this our CIC double light 1. And we'll call this number 2. Now, I think what we can do is we can make these red. So let's change that. Let's change this to 3.25. Change the fall off to 2.0. Change the intensity 1.2. How does that look? Yeah, it looks okay, but we're getting quite a bit of bleed through from this area here. So I think what I might do is I might place some lights. Yeah, well that's the thing, I can't actually place any lights. I can't place any lights here because this space is being occupied by these walls here. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to place some lights like that. So we could actually place them like that, where the corner light is on that base there and then also there as well. Well, actually no, we can't do that. So I think instead I'm just going to put in some traditional interior lights. No, actually, in fact, you know what? I'm going to get rid of these lights here, these corner lights. I'm going to grind them out because I can't actually get to them properly. No, I don't want to go ahead deleting blocks here, so let's make sure this is all welded up. Let's select our lights again, and let's turn mirror mode back on firstly. Let's place a light there. And let's place a light there. So the reason why I've done it this way instead of leaving them in the center where they were before is because this is in the middle of this half and this light is in the middle of this half. So we're going to get a nice even distribution, and as you can see, the lights are quite evenly distributed. So let's go into here, we'll change our view, we'll have a look for our interior lights. So they're going to be number 6, so we'll call this CIC roof light 1, copy that. We'll call this CIC roof light 2. Now, the reason why I know these are the lights that we've just placed is because the color hasn't changed. All the other lights that I've placed in the ship, I've colored them this color, and then this one we know is going to be our CIC light number 3. And this one will be our CIC light number 4. So let's select all these. Let's make them all red. Let's turn the radius to about 5.0. Let's set the fall off to 2.0. And let's set the intensity to 1.2. Awesome. I think that looks pretty cool. So we can change the color of this later if we want to, but I think for now that looks pretty good. So let's go back upstairs. And let's see what it looks like up here. Okay, cool. So we have a little bit of bleed through. You can see there's like a little bit of a red shadow there on this light here. But I think for the most part it looks quite good. And we can't see any of the red light bleeding up through the top here. So yeah, mission accomplished. And then what I think we might do is actually do the same around here and make some lights here red as well. But I'm not too sure about that. I think what I might do first is just see where these lights out here are. Okay, so we have 2 lights there. Now the radius for these lights is set to about 20 meters if I remember correctly. So I don't really want them to be like that. So I want those lights to be a bit lower in the ship so that they're not bleeding through the top of this section and they're actually lighting up this section below us. Now the question is, which color do we go for? So I think I may even put, I wonder what a light would look like if it was here. Yeah, I think we might even be able to do that. So what I might do is I might offset this light by about 5 meters so that the light source ends up around here, and I'm going to make it blue. So let's go back into our control panel. Let's have a look at our interior lights once again. And we are going to set the offset to 5 meters. Set the intensity to 1.2, set the fall off to 2.0, set the radius to about 10.0. And then we'll make these 0 and 130. And then they are blue. Cool. And then that's that section light lit up. And obviously we're going to need a light in here as well to light this area up. And we don't have a heap of bleed through here. And in fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this area blue as well. I think that will look pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. Now obviously I'm not concerned about the light bleeding through up here because it's going to be the same color. So I think in order to achieve this, we will grab some corner lights again, and we will place some there, and maybe there as well. And do I want to place, you know, I could actually place a light here as well. So could put 2 corner lights like that. So let's see what this looks like. So let's go into our corner. Now 15 and 16, right? So basically what happens is as you place the lights, you can see the numbers increasing. So I actually want to set these two lights here at a different offset to what these lights are. So I probably want these lights to come out to maybe about here, or maybe down there. So I'm going to set the offset for these two lights. Now, since these were the last two lights that I placed, these are going to be the last numbers on the grid. So if we have a look in our control panel, 15 and 16. So just to demonstrate what I mean, I'm going to change these to blue. Change them to 10 meters. Now you can see that corner lights only have a radius of 10 meters, whereas regular interior lights have a radius of about 20 meters as their maximum. So set the fall off to 2.0, intensity 1.2, offset to about, let's make it 2.5. Let's see how that looks. Awesome. So now we have a nice lit up hallway here. And as you can see, there's our lights. So now, I think I will change the names of these lights here to maybe something like, staircase light 1 and 2. I'll make these CIC staircase light 1 and 2. Awesome. And then if we make our way through here, we do have a little bit of bleed through. I'm not loving that, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think we might just have to live with that. Either that or I put the light there. In fact, I think that is what I'm going to do. I'm not really loving the location of those lights and the fact that they're bleeding through to the other side. So let's put in some more corner lights again. Let's change the color of these corner lights again. And again, as I said before, they'll be the last numbers on the grid, 17 and 18. 0, 30, 255, that's fine. Radius can be about 10 meters. Fall off 2.0, intensity 1.2. Awesome. Let's see how that looks. Yep. So we've got less bleed through now. There's still a little bit, but there's not heaps. So I may just go in here, set these lights up. Corner light, I think it was 18 and 17. Yep. Let's change the radius to about 7.5. And then let's go back into the CIC and let's have a look. Alright, so we've got very minimal bleed through. So the hallway looks nice and blue. CIC is nice and red, the color I want it. And then all we need to do is adjust these lights on the back. So let's go ahead and do that. And since I've only got them, they only really need to light up this kind of a block space, I might make the radius for these lights about 5 meters. So, in fact, I might be able to get away with not even having a light here. So I may just get rid of that light. Let's go in here and we'll make these the same color. Radius will set to about 5 meters. Fall off to about 2. Intensity 1.2. Now the offset. What do I want to set the offset to? And as you can see, when you set the offset, the light source moves, so I might set it to about 2.5 and see how that looks. Awesome. So we have a fair amount of light in this area now. It's a little bit dark, but I think ships look quite cool when they're not entirely lit up, if that makes sense. So yeah. Alright. So now that I've kind of given you guys a bit of a demo on how to actually set up all these lights and what all the settings are doing, I'm just going to go throughout the ship and I'm going to set up some lights, and then I'm just going to basically show you what the finished product is, because I'm sure you guys don't want to see me setting up every single light in this ship, because it can get quite time consuming. But yeah, I mean, at least you guys know how to actually set these lights up in the first place. So I'll see you guys in a bit and we will light up this ship. Alright guys, so I've finished putting all the lights throughout the ship, and so let me just show you what I've done. So obviously we've seen the bridge already, so we'll head downstairs. And I've changed these blocks a little bit, but that's not really related to the lights. Obviously you've seen this before, this was red, and it still is red. And what I've gone and done is I've changed this area down here to be kind of bluish white. So I'll just show you. So obviously we have a light up here. Whoops. I have put some more lights on the roof here. I've put a light there, put some lights there on either side. I've put some lights behind here as well. I've set the offset to 5 meters so they go right through the hydrogen tanks. And then also I have put in some lights up down here. And that kind of lights up the entire engineering section. And one other small change I made was I got rid of this corner tube and I replaced it with a conveyor. Then I added a air vent onto that, and then I just put this block here. In fact, what I might do is add a block like that. Nah, it doesn't quite look right. I'll leave it like that. Okay, and then the other thing I done was I added another 2 air vents here. So that's about it for the engineering section. So let us go have a look in the middle section. So obviously where the jump drives are, I've put some corner lights here in this hallway, and I've made these kind of a light blue color, obviously. And then I've done the same for this area down here as well, and in where the gyroscopes are. So I've put a corner light here, and I've put 2 corner lights here, and I've set the offset to about 5 meters, so the light kind of meets up in the middle of this room here. There is a little bit of a dark patch here, but I think for the most part it looks quite good. So let's just exit out of here, and then what I'll do is I'll head up here up to the top portion of the ship. So as you can see up here, I've made the lights the same color. So we've put in just 2 lights on either side of this room here. And then pretty similar to how I've done the lights down there, I've also put some lights in the hallway here, just some corner lights. Now the reason I haven't used double lights is because I didn't want to block off this gauge here that tells us how full this oxygen tank is. So I've just kind of left it to the lights being on one side. Now, I'll just head on through this section here. Now, you might notice that this section has changed quite a bit. I really wasn't happy with these catwalks, so I ended up just replacing it with this floor. And in fact, I do want to change this area, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to put in here. And yeah, I might change it up a little bit with this room, so I'll explain what I'm going to do with that a little bit later. And then obviously we have the observation deck, and we just have a standard white light here. We have no lights down here because that light extends all the way down to this area here, so I've just kind of left that be. So let's head on down to the bottom area. Alright, so obviously down below I've set these lights as dark blue, the same as the other ones. And if you might notice, I've actually moved this conveyor tube as well because I really didn't like the way it was positioned. Previously it was coming out one block and then going across. So all I've done is I've made it go down, across, and I've put in a conveyor there, and then I've covered this conveyor with a steel plate. And then that brings us back to this area here. So I'll just turn all these lights off so you can kind of get a bit of a better idea of what's going on here. Now, as I was installing the lights throughout the ship, there was a couple of things that I wanted to change. So one of the first things that I wanted to change was the location of these gyroscopes here. So these gyroscopes, they're not too bad where they are, but I just think that this room could be used for something better. So I think what I might use this room for is kind of a med bay, and I wanted to put in some cryo chambers in here as well. So yeah, there is that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of these gyroscopes, and I'm going to place them above the jump drives. And another thing that I want to do is I think I will actually create some access from these catwalks that come down some stairs and go all the way down here. Or at least, you know, we have another catwalk down here that we can access. So yeah, there is that as well. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So I think what I will do is I will first start out by moving these gyroscopes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place all these gyroscopes up here. So first of all, before I do that, you might notice that this wall is black, but this door is grey. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the colour of that to black as well. I'm going to change that to black too. And then I'm going to grab some interior walls. I'm going to place some there like that, and some there like that. And then it kind of matches up with the rest of the ship. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a block here like that. And then that kind of neatens it up a little bit. So now our doorway doesn't look so ugly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put our gyroscopes all the way along the edge. So we'll just place them down like this. Now, there's a couple of ways I could do it. I could put them all along this wall here, or I could put them in rows and then put catwalks in between them. So I think I might actually go ahead and do that and then just move these lights. So how many do we have here? I have 15 downstairs, so I want to put the same amount upstairs, obviously. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, if we have 3 rows, then we should be able to put the same amount in. So let's go ahead and place them like this, and I will leave them like that for now. Then I will place them like this. Yep, like that. Okay, cool. So now we have 12 either side, I think. Is it 12? Yeah, 12. So if we put in another 2, that gives us 14. So it's roughly the same as what we had before. So I think I might go ahead and delete these lights. But before I do that, I'm going to check what their settings are. So if we have a look at, so I've called these upper FTL room roof light 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete these lights now. So that's them gone. Let's put in our gyroscopes again. Like that. Beautiful. And then what I can do is I can put my lights, I think what I'm going to do in fact is put them on this wall here. So let's put some more lights here. So let's place one there and one there. So let's have a look at these interior lights. Okay, so let's call these lights FTL or upper FTL room light 1, 2, and 3 again. So I'm not sure what this light is or where that is. So let's again set these to 0, 190, radius to about, I think it was 12 meters. And I'm going to set the offset to about 5 meters. Set the intensity back to 1.2 and then the fall off to 2. Cool. So now we have some pretty good lighting through here. It's not the greatest, but it looks really cool, I think. So now what I'm going to do is I might add some catwalk plates here. So let's add in some steel catwalks like this. And obviously I'm not going to be able to put one on the end because the space is occupied by that light there. So no, that's not the one I want. Let's put in an end piece catwalk like that. And let's go ahead and do the same for this side. Awesome. I think that looks pretty good. I don't really want to put catwalks along this, just because I kind of like this, these interior blocks exposed the way they are. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with this space yet. And in fact, I may even just fill that with interior blocks, because again, they're quite a light block, and I think, well, I mean, we could even put some gyroscopes up there, but I don't know. I don't think I will do that. Right, so let's just put in some of these blocks here. Awesome. So then we have a block space here to put a sensor for that door later on when I want to place one. And yeah, so we're looking pretty good here. Okay, so let's go back downstairs and let's go and remove the lights from down below. I mean, not the lights, sorry, the gyroscopes. Alright, so what I'm thinking with this room is I'm thinking that we turn this into a kind of a medical room, and we put in some cryo chambers, put in some med bays, and yeah, all that sort of jazz. Alright, so let's first start off by getting rid of all these gyroscopes. I've got to be careful not to delete these lights because I've done so a few times when I've been editing this shit. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some cryopods along this back wall here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a conveyor here, here to connect up this, and then we can get rid of this conveyor. So let's get rid of that, let's get rid of that. Let's put in one of those. Let's grab our conveyors. Let's put a conveyor there. Let's put a conveyor there. And let's just keep that going all the way along this back wall. Alright, so now that we've got our conveyors on the back wall, let's go ahead and put in some of these. So I think I'll put in some along here for now, and let's just see how that kind of looks. What I want to do as well is I kind of want to put in a med bay here. So I think what I might do is I might actually chuck a conveyor here. So where is that? Yeah, it's not going to look pretty up there, but I think it's going to look quite good down here. So let's just put a conveyor up there. Like that. Let's go ahead and grab our med room, and we're going to have to get rid of this light. And let's put our med room there like that. So the reason why I've put it like this and not orientated the other way around is because when you try and walk past, it's quite difficult to get in there. So I think that looks quite a bit better. Alright, so how many cryopods do we have? We've got 5 on each side. I don't think we need that many, so I think I might just go ahead and get rid of that one, these two, and then we'll try and figure out something else to put in that space. Let's just go through here and have a look at this side. Alright, so I'm going to have to delete this med bay. I'm going to have to come in here like this and put in another medical room like that. And so let me just go up. I won't worry about having a look up there just yet. I think also what I want to do is put in some beds along here, just, you know, for rest and recovery. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll put one. Where are our beds? So we can put one. Let's go ahead and turn mirror mode back on. Let's get rid of this block. Let's put in our bed. We could put it upside down so the guy's going to sleep on the roof. Nah, I don't think we're going to be that mean. And then we could put... Nah, it's only going to work if I put them like this. So, like that, like that. One there. One there. And then we'll put our interior wall back in. Cool. So I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah. The hallway looks a little bit more interesting now as well. So, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Alright, let's go ahead and put something to fill this spot here. So I think what I'll do is I will place one of those like CRT scanners. One of these things, the medical station, that's what it's called. So I'm going to delete all these lights, and I'm going to place some more lights on the center of the roof here, because the corner lights, they're right where I want to place some blocks. So let's put 2 of these there, so put one on either side. And then let's put in some lab equipment. So we could put one there, and we put, I'm not loving that, to be honest with you. Let's get rid of that. Let's put one there, and let's leave it at that. So we have our lab equipment, we have our beds, we have our cryo chambers, and we have our medical room. And then with this extra block of space, I think what I'll do is I'll cover up this ugly conveyor with a catwalk plate. Or we could cover it up with a block. So maybe something like, as you can see, Keen has installed some new blocks. So I could put a block like that. Alright, so let's go ahead and put our lights back in. So I think what I'll do is try and put a light in the middle here, but if I remember correctly, this room was about 10 blocks wide, so I can't really do that. So maybe what I can do is I can put one there and one there. Alright, so we've got our lights set up. I think that looks pretty good. Yep, it looks really good. We can see all of this stuff, we can access our beds, and it's very well lit up. Yeah, so I just kind of noticed that if I get rid of this med bay here, right, and I get rid of this conveyor isn't actually connected to anything, which then means that the med bay isn't actually connected to anything, or the medical room rather. So what I'm going to need to do is use these particular conveyors here to then convey that med bay. So because if I put a conveyor here, then that blocks off this space from being used with a sensor for this door. So yeah, I kind of don't want to do that. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just live with the fact that they don't look quite right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the interior wall back here. Then I'm going to do the same for the other side. So delete that. Oh yeah, I've already done that for this side. And I'm basically going to put the med bays kind of like this. So let's put one there like that. And I would really like it facing the other way around, but as I said, it's just going to be way too difficult to do that. So yeah, I'll just put them like this, and I'll just have to live with the fact that they look kind of ugly. But, you know, you have to compromise sometimes when you build these things. So let's put it there. And yeah, as I said, it looks kind of weird. But yeah, let's not get too stuck into decorating this shit, because I did say I might do that in an entirely separate video. So now, what we can do is we can make a start on putting some access from here to go down below a bit. So let's go ahead and get rid of these catwalks. I'll get rid of these, and you might notice that these blocks are new from the last time. I actually placed these in, so yeah, there's that. Alright, so now what I need to do is I need to place some railings in. Now I need to place a half railing, but it needs to go, I'll probably put it on that side, like that. The only problem is it's kind of suspended in midair, but yeah, you can only really see, you can only really tell if you look really closely. So alright, so let's place a couple of catwalk ends. Let's place one here. Let's place another one. No, actually what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place a catwalk that's going to extend out on top of this assembler here. So what I will do is put an end piece there, then I'll put a corner piece here, then I'll put another corner piece there, and then down here I will put another end piece. And don't worry about the railing on the side, because there's basically going to be stairs there blocking us from falling off the edge. Okay, so now let's get our stairs. I believe it is this one. Yep, this one. And let's place that there. Spin that around and place that there. And spin it around again. And place that there. And then finally, we'll place one down here. Cool. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's just check this out. So we walk up these stairs. A little platform here. I could make this platform extend out to the other side. I wonder how... I think you would hit your head on it though when you go past it, so I think I might just leave that for now. But maybe I can make a platform go out here. No, I can't because it's been occupied by that reactor. Oh, that's okay. Alright, let's continue walking up these stairs. Yeah, so that's the only problem with these stairs. You can see, like, sometimes the character kind of gets a bit stuck. So yeah, there is that. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good. So the next thing I want to do is I want to try and find a purpose for this room up here. So this room here. Now, there's not really too much I can do here. We have only 2 blocks worth of space, so there's not really much in the game that is worth 2 blocks. You know, I guess we could try and put like a crew quarters or something like that in here. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with this area yet. Alright, so I think what I might do is I'm going to put a doorway here. So let's go ahead and put a sliding door. I could put it there, but instead I think I will put the sliding door here. And since this, you know, is not really airtight and neither is this, then I don't really need to worry about double doors. So I'm just going to rock the single door here. Actually, let's put in a door on the other side as well. Let's turn our mirror mode back on so that we can do that. And no, I guess what I could do is I could put the door here, because I was worried about covering this port here, but I suppose we can access it from this side and we can access it from here, so it doesn't really matter. So alright, let's go ahead and do that. So let's grab our door block and let's put it there. Awesome. Now we have a door. It just kind of neatens up this area a little bit. Let's open up this door, and then I think what I will do is, so if we have a look at this block here, basically this cargo container is connected to these conveyors here, and that is then connected to these conveyors down here, which are our thrusters down the bottom. So what I can do is I can get rid of this, and because this is somewhat of an industrial room, I think what I might do is put some hydrogen engines in here. Normally I don't really use hydrogen engines in my builds, but I think in this case it will probably neaten up this area a little bit. So let's go ahead and put one there, and we'll put another one there. And let's just turn these off because they are very loud. Awesome. Now, if I grab the hydrogen engine and we just have a look at the block itself, you can see that it has a conveyor port on the bottom and it has a conveyor port at the back. So now that is basically acting as our conveyor to go from this large cargo container down to this block here. So we have this area here which we can access, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but what I will do is get rid of this. And I always wanted to put in a few more thrusters here, so I think I'm going to get rid of that air vent. And what we can do is we can place the air vent up there, so I won't mess around with these thrusters too much. We'll just quickly put one in. Let's make this that color. Let's grab a conveyor, put another conveyor there. Awesome. Make sure that's orientated correctly. No, it's not. Let's put another conveyor here. And then what we can do is we can put some stairs that go down there. So we can put in a platform like this. And we can put in some stairs like this. And then at least we can access this area under here. And in fact, I may even put another conveyor there. Maybe what we can do is we can put a couple of oxygen tanks or something like that here, just to try and fill up this area a little bit. Let's turn our light off. So let's go install a light. Let's put one about here. So if I want to make these lights the same as the ones down here, I need to make them a certain color. I can't actually access any ports here. Let's go into our control panel, interior light. Set these to 0. 30, set the radius to about 12 meters, fall off to 2.0, intensity to 1.2, awesome. Alright, so those lights are set up, so it matches the lights that are underneath the cargo containers. Awesome, I think this is looking quite good. And what I could do as well is put some railings along here, and then to try and dress up this area a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. Select our railings. Let's chuck one there, and one there. Alright, so I think that makes it look a little bit more interesting, and then we can't, even though we probably can't fall down there, it kind of makes it look like we can't fall down there. Awesome. And in fact, maybe I should change the color of this walkway. Something to think about later. Alright. So we're getting a bit sidetracked here. Awesome. So I'm not too sure what I want to do with this area just yet, but I think we're just going to leave it there. Alright. Now, let's move on to the area up above these cargo containers. Now, this particular area here, I'm actually really struggling to figure out what to do. So I would really appreciate some suggestions on what to do in this particular area. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think I should put in here. And I think I'm going to finish the episode off here. And what we're going to do in the next episode is probably finish off this room. We might put some more items into the observation deck, and we'll finish that off. But I think mostly what I'm going to concentrate on in the next episode is finishing the exterior. So obviously, you know, Keen have released a couple more blocks. So I think it's going to be interesting because there were a few things that I wanted to do on previous ships that I couldn't do, and I'm now going to be able to do them on this ship. So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that. So I will see you guys in the next episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content, and I hope to see you guys in episode 6. Thanks.